Affordable housing continues to be a topic of conversation among Lexington residents and city leaders. A Lexington organization is creating a dialogue around the issue, saying the city is short tens of thousands of affordable housing units right now. The group adds these numbers will get worse if action isn't taken. WKYT's Lissa Williams spoke with city leaders and those with the organization to learn more in a story that's new at 6.
The organization Lexington for Everyone has been sharing more about how big of an issue affordable housing is on social media. The group says based on a city commission study, Lexington could face a shortage of 30,000 affordable housing units by 2030.
For every $1,000 that a home price goes up, we're pricing 286 people out of the market. They can't afford to become homeowners. They can't realize that American dream. And then rental prices obviously are a great concern for people who can no longer afford to rent here in Lexington.
Lexington for Everyone board member Carla Blanton says the organization aims to educate the community on land use policies in the city and how they impact homes, jobs, and equity. She believes a big hurdle standing in the way of affordable housing is the time it takes for zoning and planning.
One of the problems that we see is that it takes about 523 days for plans to go through the development process here in Lexington. If you go to a peer city like Greenville, South Carolina, it takes about 40 days.
Lexington's Housing Advocacy and Community Development Commissioner Charlie Lanter says that's one of the several things that may contribute to a shortage.
The shortness of land is something that's pervasive across any community, as is the rising interest rates. The cost of construction went up around COVID and the pandemic and then never came back down. Then we've got labor shortages. So all these different things are stacked up against us.
But Lanter says they're actively working to curb some of these issues. He says the city works to provide grants and loans to developers to make building cheaper, and they have incentives to help planning and zoning move quicker.
Our developers have a part to play. Nonprofits who build for seniors and homeless folks, they've got a part to play. If they're not proposing projects, then our money doesn't do any good. So every little piece kind of has a part to play.
Both Blanton and Lanter encourage people to reach out to the city with ideas regarding this issue or if they have questions. In Lexington, Lissa Williams, WKYT.